Hello everyone. So this is the fourth session of information theory and coding subject, and in today's class we are going to discuss how to define an entropy and information rate of a Markov source, and how to define and calculate the average information content per symbol in messages that contain n number of symbols. So when we discuss about this one, let me brief you a slight difference between what exactly is the meaning of these terms when it comes to independent sources and when it comes to dependent sources. So we have defined entropy and information rate of memoryless sources, that is independent sequences, where the entropy depends upon only the probability of a particular symbol and not on a message. So as we know, a combination of a symbol will form the message. So today we are going to discuss this with respect to a particular state of a source, and when we define the entropy or the information for messages, that we will call as a average information content. So information content in case of independent sequences is only with respect to a symbol, whereas information content in case of dependent sequences is defined with respect to a particular message. Therefore, we are defining average information content per symbol in case of messages. And as we know, if we are considering a message, its length can be a single letter word, or it can be a multiple letter word. So depending upon that, we are going to consider even the length as an important parameter while defining the average information content. That's why we are calling, or we are defining average information content with respect to n number of symbols. So these are our table of contents today, what we are going to study. So this is all with respect to your source with the memory. Okay, so now let us define entropy and information rate of Markov sources. What is the entropy of a source? So here the entropy of a source is nothing but the weighted average of entropy of the symbols emitted from each state. So note down this, we are saying weighted average. So right, so weighted average here represents you are considering the probabilistic weight. Okay, we are considering the probabilistic weight. So that is why we are calling it as a weighted average and not simply as a average, because all sequences, all symbols in a message are not equiprobable. Therefore, we have to define weighted average and not just average. Okay, weighted average of the entropy of the symbols emitted from each state. So entropy of the symbols is nothing but your H emitted from each state. That is, you are considering a source, and with the source with respect to state 1, state 2, state 3, or depending upon the number of states, with respect to each state, you are going to calculate the entropy first, which we will call as a state entropy, and the weighted average of this state entropy will give you the source entropy. Okay, so let us represent HI as our state entropy, that is entropy of the source when it is in state I. Okay, now the average information content, or I can say the weighted average information content, can be calculated only after calculating the entropy of the state. So if HI represents the entropy of the state, then H of S is nothing but the weighted average of the state entropy, which is nothing but our source entropy. The expression for our state entropy is nothing but P into log of 1 by P. That is the same old expression we are using, but the only difference is, instead of considering the symbol probability, we are considering the transition probability. So why we are considering the transition probability? It is because in case of source, whenever you consider a source in two different states, state 1 and state 2, a particular symbol will be emitted whenever it makes a transition from one state to another state. That is why if you want to know what is the probability of the symbol A, you should know what is the probability of the source transition from 1 to 2. because only during that transition a symbol will be emitted, and hence the transition probability will give you the probability of that particular symbol. So we are considering the transition probability Pij log 2 of 1 divided by Pij. Since the base is 2 here, we are taking bits as our unit. Okay, so you depending upon how many states your source can take, you have to define those many state entropies. So if my source is taking 3 different states at different times, then I have to define H1, H2 and H3. Those are my state entropies, and once if I calculate all the state entropies, I have to calculate my source entropy. So as we know, it is the weighted average of state entropy. So we are considering the state entropy, which is nothing but Hi, and we are considering its weighted average. So I am considering Pi. So Pi into Hi for all different states will give me the source entropy. So since we are considering all the possible states, we are taking I, that is the index, to vary from 1 to n. So now if I substitute for Hi, I am going to get this expression. So this is how we are going to calculate the source entropy, where Pi is the probability of source in state I. So here Pi is nothing but our probability of the source when it is in a particular state. The average information rate Rs for the source is defined as, it is nothing but Hs into Rs, that we have defined even for our independent sequences. In a similar way, we can calculate the average information rate here also. So this is our source entropy that we can obtain easily by using this expression, and this is nothing but my Rs value, which is nothing but the symbol rate of the source. So if we know these two, we can easily calculate the information rate. So now let us move on to the next slide. Okay, so let us consider an example. For the Markov source shown in figure, find the entropy of each state. That is, you are supposed to calculate Hi. Okay, you are supposed to calculate Hi. So once you calculate Hi, calculate the source entropy. So source entropy is nothing but your H of S. So you have to calculate source entropy. So here the given information is even P1, P2 and P3, which are nothing but our state probability values. So probability that it is in state 1 is 1 by 3. Probability that your source is in state 2 is 1 by 3, and probability that it is in state 3 is also equal to 1 by 3. Now let us analyze this particular state diagram or the source diagram. It is given that source can take any one of these 3 possible states, that is either it can be in state 1, state 2 or state 3. If it is in state 1, it can make a transition from state 1 again back to state 1 with a probability value of 1 by 2, and it is given that during that transition it will emit symbol A. Or else, if it is in state 1, it can make a transition to state 2, and when it is making a transition to state 2, it will emit symbol C with a probability of 1 by 4. Or else, if it is in state 1, it can make a transition to state 3 by emitting symbol B with a probability value of 1 by 4. Similarly, you can assume that initially your source is in state 2. When it is in state 2, either it can remain in the same state with a probability of 1 by 2 by emitting the symbol C. Or else, either it can make a transition to state 1 or it can make a transition to state 3. If it is making a transition to state 1, it emits symbol A with a probability of 1 by 4, and if it is making a transition to state 3, it will emit symbol B with a probability of 1 by 4. In a similar way, we can even assume that our state is initially in state 3 and it will make a transition either to state A or to state 2 or it can make transition to state 3 itself. If it is making transition to state 1, it will emit symbol A with probability of 1 by 4. If it is making transition to state 2, it will emit symbol C with a probability of 1 by 4. And if it is coming back to state 3, it will emit symbol B with a probability of 1 by 2. Okay, so now we have the information regarding each of the state probability, what is the symbol emitted during each transition and what is the transition probability. So with all these three data, we can go for writing the tree diagram. However, for the calculation of state entropy and the source entropy, you need not to calculate the probability of symbol sequences. That is, what is the probability of A, what is the probability of AA, what is the probability of AAA. That is, for any value of n, you need not to calculate the probability if you are calculating only the state entropy and the source entropy. However, if you are calculating the average information content, well, in that case, you need to calculate the probability of message also. Okay. So remember that probability of a message containing n number of symbols, where n can be either 1, 2, 3 or more than 3. So if you are calculating the average information content, then only the probability of message is required, and hence we will go for calculation of the message probabilities only while calculating the average information content of symbols, right? But here in the question statement, you can see that we are interested in calculating only the state entropy and the source entropy. Therefore, you need not to calculate the probability of a message. Only the transition probabilities are sufficient. Okay. Therefore, I am not going to use this table since we are not calculating the average information content, right? However, how to calculate this one, we discussed it in our previous session, that is session 3. But again, to recall that, I am going to discuss the calculation of probabilities later in further problems. But however, now we are interested only in calculation of state entropy and source entropy, and these entropies will require only the transition probabilities. So directly we will write the tree diagram and go for calculation of the entropies. Okay. So in order to calculate the state entropy, so let us write initially what is the expression for state entropy. So as we know, this is the expression for our state entropy. Pij log 2 of 1 divided by Pij, where I represents the state of your source. So if you are calculating the state entropy for the source to be in state 1, my I value would be 1. If you are calculating the state entropy for the source, assuming that it is in state 2, then I value would be 2. That is, I am calculating H2. And if you assume that your source is in state 3, you are calculating H3. That is the state entropy. Okay. And J represents the values of your source state. So here our source can take any one of 3 possible states. Therefore, n value will be equal to 3. Therefore, J value varies from 1 to 3. Even I value you have to take 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Now let us take initially I is equal to 1. Okay. When I is equal to 1, I am going to calculate H1, that is this part. Since you are calculating H1, wherever there is I, you have to replace that with 1. Okay. And what about my J value? So J value here, since n is equal to 3, I have to take my J value to be equal to 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Therefore, I will take I is equal to 1, J is equal to 1, and I am getting Pij as P11, log 2 of 1 divided by P11. Similarly, when my I value is equal to 1 and J value is equal to 2, I am taking Pij as P12. Therefore, this term is nothing but P12 log 2 of 1 divided by P12. Next, the last value of j, that is 3, for the same value of I, which is equal to 1. So my Pij becomes P13 now. Therefore, this term is nothing but P13 log 2 of 1 divided by P13. Okay. Now, this is actually the expression we will be using for calculation of H1. Now, check out what is P11, substitute what is P12, what is P13. So, P11 is the transition probability that states that source is going from state 1 to state 1 again. Okay. So, state 1 to state 1, you can see that 1 to 1 transition will occur with a probability of 1 by 2, right? Therefore, I am substituting here 1 by 2, which is nothing but P11. Log 2 of 1 divided by P1, which is 1 divided by 1 by 2, which is nothing but 2, right? So, this is my first term corresponding to this term. Now, consider the second term. So, here we will require a transition probability for the source to move from state 1 to state 2. Okay. So, state 1 to state 2. So, this is 1 and to state 2. So, it will have a probability value of 1 by 4. So, P12 is nothing but 1 by 4. That is the transition probability. So, P12 is taken as 1 by 4. Log 2 of 1 divided by P12 is nothing but log 2 of 1 divided by 1 by 4, which is simply equal to 4. Therefore, this entire expression is corresponding to the second term. Now go to the third term. So, here we will require the transition probability P13. That is the probability of the source when it moves from state 1 to state 3. Okay. So, when it moves from state 1 to state 3, that is this transition probability, we can see that the transition probability value is 1 by 4. Therefore, we will take P13 equal to 1 by 4. And log 2 of 1 divided by 1 by 4 is nothing but 4. So, we have substituted that value. So, go for calculation. Finally, you will obtain H1 equal to 1.5 bits per symbol. Now, consider H2. So, this is nothing but entropy for the source assumed to be in state 2. That means that for I is equal to 2, you are going to calculate the entropy. So, I will take I is equal to 2. Again, my J value varies between 1 to 3. So, 1, 2 and 3. So, H2 is nothing but P21 log 2 of 1 divided by P21, that is I is 2 and J is 1. Similarly, both I2 and J2 will give me the transition probability P22. Therefore, P22 log 2 of 1 divided by P22 plus P23 log 2 of 1 divided by P23. That is for I is equal to 2 and J is equal to 3. Now, you will require the transition probabilities P21, P22 and P23. Okay. Correspondingly, you can say that P21 is equal to 1 by 4, P22 is equal to 1 by 2, P23 is equal to 1 by 4. Okay. So, we will take the transition probabilities and go for calculation. That will also give you 1.5 bits. Now, I is equal to 2 is over. Next, consider I is equal to 3. So, by considering I is equal to 3 and for each value of J, write down the expression for H3, substitute for these transition probabilities and go for calculation, you will obtain H3 value. Okay. So, now we have calculated H1, H2 and H3. Since our source can take any one of these 3 states, only 3 entropy values or the 3 state entropies are sufficient because it is not taking any further states. Once the state entropies are calculated, we will go for calculation of source entropy. Okay. So, source entropy, we know that it is nothing but the weighted average of the state entropy, that is Pi into Hi for I varying between 1 to 3, that is the number of states. So P1 H1, P2 H2, P3 H3. So these H1, H2 and H3 we have already calculated. Coming to P1, P2 and P3, it is given in the problem statement what is P1, what is P2 and what is P3. That is the state probabilities. Substitute for P1, P2 and P3 and substitute for H1, H2, H3. You will easily get the value of source entropy, that is H of S, 1.5 bits per symbol. So we have attended both the parts of our questions, entropy of each state and entropy of the source. Okay, now let us consider one more example. So before I move on to this particular example, let us initially define the calculation of average information content per symbol in messages that contain n number of symbols. So as I said, till now we were calculating P of Mi in case of independent sequences, right? So P of M is nothing but probability of a particular symbol. Now if I am using this P of Mi to calculate the probability of a message, okay, and we know that probability of a message is nothing but group of symbols, okay, group of symbols. That means that you have to calculate the probability of message or the probability of group of symbols and not just a message, and we are defining the entropy H for the message now. Okay, now how to define the entropy or the average information content per symbol in message containing n symbols. So you can consider any value of n. N can be 1, 2 or 3. Okay, so consider n value, and for n is equal to 1, 2 or 3, whatever is your requirement, find out all the possible combinations, that is find out all the possible messages. Okay, so once if you calculate all the possible messages, I will take my I value. For example, if my n is equal to 2, okay, assume that n value is equal to 2, and for n is equal to 2, I am getting 7 different combinations, that is 7 messages. Therefore my I value will vary between 1 to 7. Okay, my I value will vary between 1 to 7. So here I am going to consider the probability of first message, log of 1 divided by probability of first message, plus probability of second message, log of probability of the second message, 1 divided by probability of second message, and so on. So this I am going to repeat for all the 7 messages. If n is equal to 3, the number of messages can be even more. You have to consider all those messages while defining your Gn. When n is equal to 1, your number of messages can be just 3, right? For example, if you consider the previous source, the number of symbols or the possible symbols when n is equal to 1 is just 3. That is, A is one of the message, B is another message, and C is another message. Because our n value is equal to 1, therefore we are considering the length as 1, and therefore the possible combinations are only 3, right? If I go for n is equal to 2, my combination that I may obtain in my message could be either AA, or it can be AC, or it can be AB, or it can be BA, or it can be BB, and so on. Okay, so you have to consider all the possible messages for a particular n value. Once if you calculate their probability, you can define your Gn. So now you can see that average information content per symbol in a messages will be different for n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3. Okay, and during this calculation, whenever your n value is greater than 1, you have to take 1 divided by n as your Gn expression. Okay, so now let us consider an example. Consider a information source modeled by a Markov process whose state diagram is shown below. Okay, so this is the state diagram of a particular information source. Find out the source entropy, that is you are supposed to calculate h of s. Okay, you are supposed to calculate h of s. And then average information content per symbol, which is nothing but your gn, right? Average information content per symbol is nothing but gn in messages that contain one symbol, that is n is equal to 1, which is nothing but your g1, that contain two symbols, that is n is equal to 2, that corresponds to g2, and three symbols, that is for n is equal to 3, which corresponds to g3. Okay, so now let us consider this particular source. So for this particular source, if it is just a calculation of source entropy, calculating the state entropy is sufficient. But you have to calculate the average information content also. Therefore, probability of messages is also necessary, because we know this is the expression we will be using, right? Therefore, probability of messages is necessary, and hence you need to list out the messages and calculate their corresponding probabilities. Okay, so let us consider initially the probabilities. Okay, now how to calculate the symbol probability? For the calculation of these symbol probabilities, initially write down the tree diagram. Okay, we know the procedure for writing down the tree diagram. So this is the tree diagram that we have obtained. Okay, so it is in state 1. It can come back to state 1 or it can go to state 2. There are two possibilities. Okay, if it is in state 1 and coming back to state 1, its probability is 3/4 with symbol A emitted. Okay, so if it goes from 1 to 1, you can see that its probability is 3/4 and symbol emitted is A. Okay, similarly, if it makes a transition from 1 to 2, symbol emitted is C and its probability is 1/4. Symbol emitted is C and its probability is 1/4. Okay, so if it is making a transition from 1 to 1, at the output you have A. If it is making a transition from 1 to 2, at the output you have symbol C. Similarly, we can assume that our source is initially in state 2 and it can make a transition to state 1 or it can come back to state 2. If it is making a transition from 2 to 1, the symbol emitted is C with a probability of 1/4. Okay, so you can see that if it is in state 2 and if it comes to state 1, symbol emitted is C with a probability of 1/4. If it is making a transition from 2 to 2, symbol emitted is B with a probability of 3/4. Okay, so 2 to 2, from state 2 to the state 2, symbol emitted is B with a probability of 3/4. So at the end of this stage, its output would be C, and at the end of this stage, output would be B. Okay, now, so if you are interested in n value equal to 1, we are interested only this part of our diagram. Okay, we are interested only in this part. Okay, now as initially, since I am calculating the probability value for messages of length equal to 1, I will consider only this part of my tree diagram. Okay, that is only this part. Now here we know what is the transition probability, we know what are the transition probabilities, but we have not provided with the state probabilities. I'll go to this state diagram. Now you can see that the state probabilities are not given. So what is the state probability? It is the probability that our source can be in state 1 or the probability that our source is in state 2. Since the state probabilities are not given, I can assume that source will equally be either in state 1 or it can be state 2. The possibility that it is in state 1 is same as the probability that it is in state 2. Therefore, I will take both the state probability values as 1/2, because my total state probability must be equal to 1. That is why I am equally considering P1 and P2. So this state probability I'll take as 1 by 2, and this state probability I'll take as 1 by 2 again. Okay. Now what is the probability of getting A? So you will get A only at this particular situation, right? You can see that you are getting C here and here, but nowhere you are getting A other than this situation. So how can I get A? So in order to get A, initially your source should be in state 1 and it has to come to state 1. So initially it should be in state 1, which states that I have to consider the probability of state 1, and then it has to go to state 1 again. That is, it has to come back to state 1 again. That is, its transition should be from 1 to 1. Then only symbol A will be emitted. So state probability is 1 by 2, right? And this probability is nothing but 3 by 4. So consider P1 into P11. It is nothing but 3 divided by 8, right? So now you can see that we have written 3 divided by 8. One second. Okay, so we have considered 3 divided by 8. Similarly, go for B. So B, you can see that B will appear only here. Okay, so now let us see how we can obtain B. In order to obtain B, initially your source should be in state 2 and then it has to make a transition from 2 to 2. So initially it should be in state 2 and then it has to make a transition from 2 to 2. So it is in state 2 is nothing but 1 divided by 2, and it has make a transition from 2 to 2 is nothing but 3 divided by 4. Now consider your probability of B. It is nothing but 3 divided by 8. So you can see that even for B we have written 3 divided by 8, right? Now consider for C.